I met Dolow shit at the beginning of my time, you know, right there, because the building I stayed in, you had the homie, that was a headquarter building, but little Dolow, the homie named Donald, he stayed in that building upstairs. He was like the first homie from the turf that I think that moms got them their own spot. So even though, you know, I'm probably like in my teens, the homies is like 18, 19 or something then, and they got their own spot, that's headquarters. So I'm seeing Big Dolow, Lil Dolow, the homie E.K. Capone, B-Dog them, Big Gangster Slim them. I'm seeing all these dudes at this time, you know what I'm saying? The homie was like a billboard sign, homie. When you drive down the street and you see these big ass billboard signs, the homie was the billboard in Neighborhood Piru. And what I mean by being the billboard in Neighborhood Piru, he'd do commercial ties ass shit with his banging, publicity ties shit with his banging. So that's what always made the homie have a standout character about himself, homie. He'd do the unthinkable shit. I think we lost Dolow maybe in 2000, early 2000. We lose Big Dolow.
And that must have been crushing to the hood.
Yeah, man, that was a devastating blow to the hood. Some of us felt like the hood got cursed after the homie, all that shit, because it was hard for the turf to kind of like do a bounce back. And not only with the loss of Dolow, we had started losing a lot of homies back to back at that time, homie. So, and that was tremendous, homie. So yeah, motherfuckers had to regain and re-strategize and all kind of shit, man. It was hell of a.
So he never got a chance to really get on this internet and let the people know who he was?
No, homie, he didn't never get a chance. You know, you could catch him, you know, you might get some old footage when he was hanging with Mac 10 and them somewhere with the who bang and shit, but the homie didn't get a chance to really landmine himself on this platform and really get the publicity he was supposed to get. And that's why I kind of share the homie history on my platform, 89 on up, homie.
Now, you just mentioned Mac 10. I guess he was tied in with the Queen Streets.
Right.
I remember I met Mac 10 through this big blood named Spider.
Right, the OG homie.
Was OG Spider from NHP or IFG?
He was a original NHP family, homie. I'm gonna put it like that. Original NHP family.
Because it seemed like he claimed both.
He claimed both, homie. And at that time, a lot of homies did claim both. You know, I happened to, when I was coming up, I kind of happened to fall up under the banner of the family root thing and had got Inglewood IFG tatted on me along with the turf. A lot of homies didn't take that stance, but a lot of us did because of the history behind all this shit.
Yeah, I met Spider one day. He talking about I'm doing security for Mac 10.
Right.
So I guess Mac 10 was really tied in back then.
Right, he was really tied in with the homies at that time.
So being that Queen Street is right there next to the NHPs, I guess one of the things people say is why didn't he put more people on in the rap game from over there?
What, Mac 10?
Yeah.
Well, you could kind of think at that time, homie, all the homies was trying to get on for themselves at that time. It was hard for you to still, like, you know, it's kind of easier now, but it was hard for the homies to do their thing back then. Homie, a lot of the homies had to disguise themselves, not really saying they bang, but switch their whole format up where it wasn't so blood advertised to get a deal, to get on the album and all that old shit, homie. So, you know, I can't really blame the homies on being selfish because, like I said, they was all trying to get themselves on, homie. Even my big homeboy Squeak Roo.
Hey, do you remember when they had that TV show, Peacemaker? And I think they came to the set, right? On
the real.
You remember?
On the real.
I think it was 2008 or 7.
Yeah, it was around that time. I remember. I think they went through the Queen Streets or something like that before.
They went to the Queens.
They went to the Queens.
Okay, what was that all about, if you remember?
Man, I'm not really sure what that shit was about. I'm not really sure, but I remember they went through there with Bosco. Matter of fact, it might have been some Inglewood on Inglewood shit that we was trying to clear the air on, man.
Back to the homies that you first started functioning with, B-Rad, LSD, and some of the others.
Yeah.
Eventually, at some point, you start catching cases and going to the county. But before that, did you ever get caught up as a juvenile?
Yeah, yep. I had to do juvenile time. You know, that shit was like back to back at them times. We was in and out of juvenile hall at that time. You know.
What was it like in there? Was the banging at a high level?
Yeah, hell yeah. At that time, yeah, it was at a high level because we wasn't the generation that founded this shit and knew Crips from going to school with them and shooting marbles with motherfuckers to people separated. When I came on, we didn't know them dudes really, but probably a friend or two you might have knew, but we didn't know a whole hood of Crips and all this shit. So it was straight animosity. You know what I'm saying? We came in with hostility and animosity. Back then, like I say, Bloods, homie, still really wasn't deep. We was still wasn't that really that deep. So you would still catch sprinkles of certain homies, but I did run across a few. I think, you know, me, from Inglewood, me, the homie Green Eyes, the homie Fiji from Crenshaw Mafia, Baby Hawk, Baby Hawk, BIP from Crenshaw Mafia, Buck from Mafia. You know, you would run across my homeboy LSD from my hood. You would catch a few Inglewood homies, but it wasn't so, you wouldn't catch us that deep, homie. And it was a homie named Hangout that used to be running through there from CPB, down ass B-Dog homie. So you would catch a few homies running around through there and shit.
Now, did you ever run across a set in Inglewood called the Weirdos?
Right.
Because when I was young, there was no such thing.
Right.
I guess that came up when you was coming up?
Right, that's Weirdo Bloods, I believe, WDZ. And if anybody can go back to the Banging on Wax with Big Y and them and all that shit, you would hear in one of the raps where they talk about WDZ, Weirdo Gangster Bloods.
And where were they? Was there even I didn't think that there was any hood left in Inglewood for a new set to form. Where did they form at?
I think they formed between the Mafias and the CPBs, I want to say. I'm really not sure, but I know they formed on that side of Inglewood. All them little hoods that was coming up, like they had Mobster Bloods. I think they was 88th Street Mobster Bloods by the families, and you had these little different cliques. But at the time I was coming up, these little blood cliques, they lasted for a minute, and then niggas put the clamps on these dudes and made them turn their original blood hoods, or members from these other hoods started getting smoked, and they last alternatives was to join a big gang to carry out the retaliation on whoever member they got lost from them little cliques, man. They still got their name to this day. You'll still catch a few Weirdo Bloods, so yeah, they one of the ones that lasted, you could say.